Really pleased to announce that in partnership with KCA and GlexNet, we are launching a study. And this study is about the future of our industry, around the petroleum industry. Given recent changes, we believe that it's time to get some perspective. So you'll get an email as a follow-up to the program. You'll get access to our virtual swag bag, and you can actually access it online today on our website. And let us know if you want to participate in the survey. We feel like it's important that this is a time to look at what the next frontiers looks like, what challenges do we have from a people perspective, and really value you participating in this. So when you get a chance, check out our site. I want to acknowledge a couple of folks that are here. We have something in Pink Petro called the Coaches Corner. And these coaches give a lot of their time to our members. They answer questions, they give them coaching, they do all kinds of great things. So if you've not experienced Pink Petro yet, we obviously would love for you to participate in the Coaches Corner. But Suze O'Donnell and Susan Hodge, and then Lisa Crilly Malice is not here. We have a number of coaches that we work with, and we'll be adding more coaches to the platform so that our members can get connectivity to development resources on their time. Also, I'm very proud to announce we announced a partnership back in October with the Lean In organization. We were the first energy, utilities, mining, et cetera, company to form a relationship with Lean In. We have a site all inside the platform all around Lean In mentoring circles, and those are available to our members as well as non-members. So if you get a chance, I'd love for you to check that out. Our site for about a year, for the last year, has been closed in the sense that you have to become a member to see it. As of yesterday, we've launched a kind of a trial version, so you can get a taste of the content. Not all of the areas are open, but we encourage you to check it out at pinkpetro.com. There's another community that we actually developed this year. This is our Penny Power community. This is the intent of our Penny Power community is to help drive financial literacy, drive engagement around money management and wealth, since we all know that women have lots of it, right, that we need to manage. So this is one of our premier communities that where we also have our membership connecting and talking about relevant topics. And then I'm really pleased to talk about Petropreneurs. This is a new brand we've launched just in the last couple of days. Petropreneurs is about developing the next generation of the supply chain and including women in the process. We've developed a very content-rich part of our community where women entrepreneurs who are curious, corporates who are curious, can converge and talk about the supply chain and how to become an entrepreneur and the challenges that people face, in that journey. I definitely spent a lot of time on it. So. The two folks that are here today that are going to speak on the panel, Paula Wagner-Aguilar and Kimberly Wilson, have been instrumental in getting that off the ground. So we're going to show we've got about 3 minutes of video, and then we'll move into our next speaker.
Hello, I'm Aya Al-Fawaris, a renewable energy professional from Jordan who now works and lives in Kuwait. I believe the energy sector needs us, women, because we excel at multitasking, problem solving, paying attention to details, and networking. I joined Pink Petro last year because I believe in the power of connecting with other women to empower and inspire each other. And I'm now trying to help more women in the East to join this great community.
Okay, I am Penny. I am in my 20s. I am single, dating. Multitasking is pretty much my middle name. Oh, and I am determined to finish War and Peace before the new year.
Him.
Oh. And this is my dog, Ollie. I talk to him a lot.
Hello.
Say bye. Bye.
Okay, in a nutshell.
Mom, I'm gonna be late. We have to go now.
Okay, I'm PJ, short for Penelope Jane. Recently divorced. 2 kids, Nate, 11, Viv, 14. I am swamped at work. I'm a soccer coach, a Girl Scout leader,
Mom, come on.
and I don't have time for this right now. Later.
I'm Penelope. I'm in my 50s and I'm proud of it. I love my career as a senior executive. I'm happily married and I have 2 grown children, Joe and Jen. My knowledge of technology goes about as far as online Scrabble and using the Facebook. So perhaps this will be easier after I enjoy this newspaper and this lovely glass of Cabernet. Ciao.
Some of the kinds of content that you get access to as a member of Pink Petro. Our intent is not just to be all, blogs and things like that. We really want to engage using video and digital. So that's some of the stuff that you can expect. At this time, I'd love to call up a friend of mine, actually, someone who's been very, very instrumental in my entrepreneur journey, who's given me a lot to think about. Karen McCullough is an international author and speaker. She's amazing, and she's going to come up and talk today about what's next.
Stand over here. Hi, everybody. I'm Karen McCullough. I wait for my slides to come in. It's interesting because this is not my industry. I am a speaker, and you'll hear my story as the slides go on. But I'm so excited to be here, and I'm really impressed with what Katie has done. I've been following her. We've been friends for a while, and this is awesome. So my topic today is called "What's Next." Hang on, and I will get through that one. I am Karen. Let's go on. So. I am a speaker, and you're going to hear that story in a little bit. And I travel all over, and sometimes I travel in an airplane, and sometimes I have to drive, and I hate driving. But I had to go from Chicago to Springfield, Illinois. Is anyone here from Chicago, from the Chicago area? And Springfield, okay. So I had to drive, and I went through a town called Normal, Illinois. Yeah, I thought this was funny. And so as I was driving out, I saw this sign, and it's pretty apropos because I speak on change. And so we are actually leaving Normal. Isn't it exciting? Yeah, I actually look at it as very exciting. But for now, I've got to take you back. I've got to take you back. And it was interesting because I've been here almost all morning, and I've heard other speakers, and everybody's like fitting into my talk. So who remembers things on this slide? Let me see a show of hands. Okay, now watch this. Who has no idea? Who does not remember? Is there anyone in here? Yeah, well, usually there are a few. I just came from a whole group of them who had no idea who anyone on this slide was. Yeah. So I'm from Chagrin Falls, Ohio. They call it the preppy capital of the world. And I moved to Houston in the late 70s, and I noticed they needed me. There were no preppies around. There were no preps around. So I decided to open a clothing store. I opened at Derry Ashford and Memorial, and they called it back in the day because it did get a little successful, the corner of nothing and nowhere. How do you like that? Derry Ashford, right? So I opened this clothing store, and it's preppy. Ralph was my king. I actually met Ralph Lauren. In order to have a preppy shop, we didn't call it branding back then, but we had to do exactly what Ralph told us to do. We had to have a little sofa for the dads. We had to give people coffee when they came in. We had to have a play area for the kids, and we had to treat the clothing as if it was gold. We had to wrap it a certain way. We had to put it in tissue. We had to put a little gold seal on it. And even if you bought that blouse on sale, Suze, I had to hand it to you like it was $1 million because Ralph was cool, and he had style, and he knew branding. It worked. Branding was great. Preppy was great. It was like so popular that I sold grandma her monogram sweaters. I sold mom her outfits. I sold college girls. Remember the sorority days, any of you from Houston? I sold you all your outfits, and I even sold little babies. We had little pins for their diapers, little plaid pins. We were preppy. We had the women's market covered. I thought I was a genius. 29 years old, we were starting to open stores all over. I had 4 stores until it wasn't. You see, it's her fault. It is. Come on, who remembers Like a Virgin? Who was? Well, I'm not going to ask that one. So, right, we used to be, right, I love that. Good, I hear my people, I feel it now, we're coming. Okay, so, no, this is serious. Everyone was preppy until MTV started it, where we actually saw them, and then we saw what they wore. College girls, high school girls, they looked at mom in her little monogram sweater, and they looked at Madonna, and they left preppy, and they went rock and roll. They went rock and roll, and I lost half my business, but you know what? I worked hard. I didn't really even notice that was happening until I started studying change, and I realized what the flaws were in my business. You see, changes were happening, but I just worked harder. And then who Madonna didn't take, I think Bill Gates got this one. Casual dress came on the scene, and all of you Gen Xers in here, all of you Gen Xers, you didn't want to wear pantyhose, remember that? No more pantyhose, right? And casual dress came on the scene, and women stopped ironing. The truth of the matter is that preppy died, and so did my business. And so I ended my business, and why am I telling you this right now? I believe that we are in a place of tremendous change. Tremendous things are happening. Some people call it disruption. It's happening in every single industry, and some of you today may be feeling it. You may be feeling it, and so my talk today is going to be more about reinvention. I don't care what your age is right now. I don't care if you're 27 years old. There's a time, and it's right now, where we have to begin to look at what we're doing, and we may have to change. We may have to alter just a little bit or maybe a lot. I am not sure. So my talk today is going to be about taking you through, because I am the queen of reinvention. I have to be honest with you. It's happened to me many times. It's happened to me many times. And so I believe that in order for you all to predict your future, you have to create it. You have to create it. So I closed my business. That was probably the best thing I ever did. At the time, it was painful. At the time, I was scared. At the time, I had no idea what I was going to do. And a friend told me to go to a National Speakers Association meeting here in Houston. And I went to it, and I saw people up there, and I said, they pay people to do that? She said, yes, they do. And so I began that day deciding that I was going to become a speaker. And that is what my journey is for you right now. I will tell you the things that I had to do, some of the things that I had to change, some of the ideas that I had to really come up with to make that change. So here's the big secret that nobody talks about. Whenever you talk to someone who's made a change, who's gone through a reinvention, what they don't tell you about is the pain. They don't tell you about how uncomfortable it is. Nobody talks about the struggle. And I believe there should be a hashtag out there, hashtag the struggle is real, right? Because you can put that one on Twitter. Because the reality of it is that when you are going through change, when you're going through big changes, where you're reinventing yourself, where you may be having to do something totally different that you're not comfortable, sometimes you have to go down to the depths. Sometimes you have to go down really deep. Because I believe that the gold is down there. It's just that's where the pain is. So we have to begin to look at ourselves, and we have to begin to look at our flaws. We have to begin to look at the areas that we really didn't want to touch before. Because in order to reinvent, in order to come out different, in order to be more relevant, sometimes we really have to deal with things, personal things, growth. I heard so much about education today, maybe learning something new. That's not easy. That isn't easy. And so we have to sometimes go. So if any of you are in that right now, if any of you are feeling that pain, good. I'm telling you, yes, go deeper. Feel it more, because that's where the real changes begin to happen. You talk to anybody that's been through a bankruptcy, a closure, a huge change in their career, and they will tell you that the gift was in the struggle. So that's where we'll go today. But I'm motivated. I'm not going to make you cry. I'm not going to make you get upset, but I'm going to make you think that because we don't know where the energy mix is going. We just know it's going to change. I've lived through several of them. You have too, some of you. I'm looking. Some of you have too. But it will change. Do you want to be a part of that change? Is this where you want to go with it? Because if you want to be a part of that change, then you have to begin to look at where you're going to grow, where you're going to change, and where you have something to offer, and where that opportunity is, right? So the beginning of the change process, the reinvention process, that entering another whole chapter of our life process, it begins with you. So what's the biggest obstacle in front of you? People will say it's their family, people will say it's money, people will say it's time, but the reality of it is it's you. It is. It's you. I believe that I surround myself with a lot of people right now who are where I am because you know what? Sometimes that expression, misery likes company, it helps. But when you find someone else that is going through the struggle with you, you can be honest with them, and it is so much better. I'm going to talk a little bit today about face-to-face communication. I'm going to talk a little bit about having friends like Martha in the audience, people who support you, people who are there, who've seen you, who know what you're good at, because sometimes when you're down there, when you're scared, you forget what you're good at. And sometimes you devalue what you're good at. Oh, everybody's good at that. No. And so we need friends. We need friends that remind us. We need friends that remind us of what it is that we're good at. Do you have one? Do you have two? You know, think about it, because this is really where the beginning of the growth, where it starts. So the first question that I ask everyone, no matter if the audience is happy or wherever they are in life, is how do you see the world? So we have to begin to take an evaluation of ourselves. So what do you notice yourself saying right now about the day, about how it's going? You wake up in the morning, how is your day going? How do you see the world? And I have to be honest with you, I look at audiences and they see the world as hard, but they bring me in, make them happy. I can't do it in an hour. They see the world as hard. It's tough out there, man. It's hard. I hate it. My people are horrible. I work with a terrible team. These young people are driving me crazy. I hear it all the time. I hear it all the time. If you're driving your boss crazy, right? I hear it all the time. And here's what I have to say to them. You see, the world comes back at us the way we see it. If you see the world as hard, if you see the world as tough, if you see the world as challenging, I didn't know what my next slide was. If you see the world as challenging, then you have got to realize that what comes back to you is hard, tough, and challenging, no matter if it's good or not. See, if it's good, you say, yeah, it's good today, but wait till tomorrow. That next shoe is going to drop, right? So we begin to look at how we see the world, and we realize that how we see the world is the way the world comes back. And I know this personally. I have a really good friend who is a life coach. She's here in Houston. I had a big birthday a couple years back, and it wasn't my 40th. And I called her and I said, oh, this is it for me. My life's going to be over. I'm old. I look at those commercials. People my age are doing gardening. You know, who wants to listen to grandma up here talking? Because my kids, I have now 5 grandchildren under the age of 6. My kids got busy. So I started complaining, and no matter what she said, yeah, but what about my knees? Are they going to go next? What about, and it didn't matter what she said, I had a comeback because I'm old. People aren't going to think I have any value. I'm not relevant. She asked me to stop and to look around my living room and tell her anything that I could see that was blue. I said, what? She's a coach. They do these things to you. Sorry. So I looked around my living room and I said, all right, I see blue. She goes, oh, wait. I changed my mind. She said, close your eyes and tell me everything in your living room that's yellow. And I said, you said blue. I don't know what's yellow in this room. I don't know. And she said, that's just my point. When you look for blue, all you see is blue. When you're old, you look for old, all you see is old. It doesn't matter. But she said, when you start to open your eyes and realize that there's more to the world than just being old, when you look at the opportunities that you have in front of you, she said, you will start to see life differently. I want you to look at your age as a gift. I want you to think about the wisdom and the ideas and the ability to laugh at yourself. And I realized that, hey man, It's not so bad. That was a few years ago. I work now more than I have ever worked in my life. My calendar is full. And I have realized something. It isn't your age. It's your mind. It's your ideas. It's how you see the world. And I see the world looking out at you as exciting. I'm in this beautiful room. This is gorgeous compared to the places that I've had to speak, but they do pay me, so I go. I want to tell you, there's so much opportunity out there, but the question is, how do you see the world? So I needed help. She was too expensive. I couldn't afford my own friends, so I got help, and I started looking. At people I could get for free online. And the truth of the matter is, I have a team of I swear by this. I listen to Jim Rohn every day. I don't know, does anyone here know Jim Rohn? He has gotten me through some tough times, right? And Jim Rohn says that if you want to change your world, then you have to change. That I live by it every day. If you want the world to be different, it isn't going to just happen. You can't go, I'm going to cross my fingers and I'm going to wait for the secret. There is no secret. The secret is you have to do it. Jim Rohn is one of my mentors. And I look up there and you see Brene Brown. Brene Brown taught me about compassion. She taught me about letting go of my imperfections. I first heard her speak years ago. I read her, I listen to her, I watch her often. And as you look up there, yeah, Oprah, come on, Sunday, who else is with me? I'm not going to watch the Housewives of Beverly Hills on Sunday when Oprah's on. Sometimes on Sunday, I will put Oprah on just to get one message. And so you need a team. That team could be the person sitting next to you. If you don't have a coach and you can afford a coach and you want a coach, get one. Make sure that that coach understands where you are. But if you can't and you don't, there's a whole world out there that is open to you, right? And so my first point is that you have got to believe in yourself. You've got to understand where you see the world, and then you've got to get a team. You've got to get a team to help you see the world better. Then you've got to get a plan. You've got to get a plan, and that's what I'm going to help you with today. Because you see, working with Ralph Lauren, I thought I should speak on branding. And we're talking about 2000, and I'm from Houston. People heard I talked on branding, they got scared. They thought I was going to stick them with a hot stick, right? They had no idea what branding was about back in. Now it's a big topic, but back then, nobody knew what branding was. But I know a little bit about branding, and so I'm going to help you today. I'm going to help give you some tools, some branding tools that can help you, show people who you are, and that will help you see how people see you. Because you see, we operate in relationships, right? We operate with me understanding you, and when I understand you, and I get you, and I see your humanness, like Alex said, I can promote you. I can definitely promote you. I can help you because I know you. But if I just read your resume or whatever you've got on LinkedIn, and you should improve that, you're smart. And this is when I get the most calls. Karen, you need to come in and I need help with my people. They're smart, but as soon as I hear but, I start writing. They're smart, but they don't know how to build teams. They're smart, but they don't understand collaboration. They are smart, but they don't understand relationships, and people don't want to work with them. I work with a lot of smart butts, and I'm telling you that this is, don't be one, right? So you've got to get a plan, so let me help you with your plan. So the first thing is, what do you want? Get a vision. You can change it. People are afraid, oh, I don't want to say what I want. What if I change? Because so what? You can change it. Change it. And I'll tell anyone, wherever you are today, you're not going to be here in 5 years, hopefully. You're going to be where you want to be, closer to where you want to be, but you have to have a plan. I'm going to share this with you. I always dreamt that I would be in front of a lot of people. I never saw myself like in a little classroom going, hey, everyone, hi, I'm here. I always saw myself bigger. That was the first vision I had. And guess what? I saw people laughing. And so that became the vision. That is the vision that I've had, and it's coming true more and more and more. In the beginning, they cried. They didn't laugh. But you can't always get what you want in the beginning. But if you don't have a vision, if you don't have an idea of where you want to go, especially when times are tough, that is what's going to keep you going. Hey, this isn't easy. But it's exciting. It's exciting because that vision is where you want to go. And I believe that when we have the vision and we have a plan towards that vision, and we keep that vision alive with friends and coaches and people who give us ideas, that vision comes true. I believe it because it's happened to me a couple times. And you know what? I wasn't the smartest kid in the class. It came to me because I got an understanding of how the world really works. And this is how it works. So we need to have a vision. So I've asked you how you see the world. Now I'm going to get kind of a little bit deeper. So I'm looking out at you, and how do you think the world sees you? What do you think people think of you? What do you think? So I'm going to give you 4 questions. These 4 questions, I have used them for years. People take them, you can have them. And if any of you guys want my slides, I'll give them to Kate, or Katie's already got them. She'll give them to you. Because these 4 questions are the key to branding. They're the key to people understanding who you are. So I'm going to do one interactive thing with you, but not this one. I'm worried that, I'm really worried about my time. I just saw how much I have. So number 1, in 1-word answers, I want you to ask people these 4 questions. And if you were going to, in a group, we would turn to each other, we would say, so Katie, what 1 word best describes my personality? And the first thing out of their mouth is you've got to write it down. Because you see, brands have personalities. We remember a person's personality more than their name. You walk into a room and I go, oh yeah, I want to sit with her. I don't remember, but she's fun. Oh, she's smart. I'm going to get a really good business idea from her. And man, he is connected. Andrew knows so many people. I'm going to go sit with Andrew because he is a connector. What 1 word best describes my personality? Number 2, what value or principle do you most closely associate with me? I believe, especially when we're starting out in our careers, that we need to hang with people who have similar values. Because when we're with people with shared values, our career grows much faster. So find people that have the same dreams, have the same values, and then be with them. You will get more ideas from people that have the same shared values than those that don't. Number 3, what skill, ability, or talent comes to mind when you see me, when you know me? You've got to know what people see as your talent. You've got to know this. And if they're not seeing what you want them to see, then you've got to really start thinking about how you show up. What do you talk about? How do you present yourself? Because we are getting the answers from being with you. And the last one is key. How would you describe me to someone who has never met me before? Hey, I want you to meet Karen McCullough. She's so what? And you will begin to hear your brand. You see, you don't create your brand. Others create it. We create it from your behaviors. We create it from being around you. You create it, and I tell you what it is. Because other people are the ones that are identifying and giving you your brand. So those are the 4 questions. So what's your story? So how do you talk about yourself? This is critical. This is key. I loved listening to Alex. I took more notes because Alex was giving you the clues to be an influencer. So many of us talk about our jobs. Hey, what do you do? I work in the oil and gas industry. I'm in this department. And all of a sudden I'm like, but if you start to think about 2 things, what you were like as a child and what your hobbies or interests are, and you can somehow dig down deep. You know, I was a kid, I was always, I don't know what you were doing, I was always interested in mathematics. Teachers called me the math brain, and I kind of laughed because here I am working with, and then you tell them what you do. Because when you can dig down and bring out something from your childhood, something I can remember, and bring it into what you're doing today, I remember what you do. But so many of us tell the technical piece of what we do and nobody's listening. Nobody remembers. So we have to bring humanness. I loved it. If you want to be an influencer, get excited about you. Influence yourself first. Because if you're not excited about you, I am certainly not excited about you. So get excited about what you do and get excited and get a story around your job. Why is it the perfect job for you? Why are you in the best place to be? And if you don't have one about why you are in the perfect place, you might rethink where you are. Because this is really the beginning of telling the story of what you do. I've got to move on. I think if I do this, oops, it didn't. That's so fast. Look how fast change is. So this one was back on speed of change. I don't know where the picture is. One of my clients is HP Enterprise. It used to be HP last week. Don't worry, Katie. Now it's HP Enterprise. It's changed so fast. HP Enterprise, these are the guys that are the architects. These are the engineers that create the programs for big companies. I was in their conference, I worked with them a lot, and they told me that things are changing right now. Technology is changing so fast, it's every 2 years. We're doubling it every 2 years. And they were telling me that we as humans will not keep improving. We will get to a point, I guess maybe where I am, and we'll plateau when we get to a certain age, right? Maybe not yet, but we will plateau. We can't keep going up. Our bodies won't allow it. But machines and technology will. So how are you going to keep going in this world that is changing so fast? Learn from others. When someone tells a great story and we are interested in what they had to say, hey, I want to get to know you. I love the way you talk today. I will learn more chatting. I will learn more if I know how to ask questions than I will reading. So I want you to become masters at asking questions. And I don't even know what my next slide is, but let's do it and see. Because I watch, this is so funny. I am now putting myself, whenever I watch Downton Abbey, oh my God, look how hard this changes for them. I mean, I am relating to all the things that they went through then, and they seem to be the same as now. Maybe the times are different, but their struggles are the same. The struggles are the same to keep up, to give up the old ways and to get into the new ways, and to understand, did you see how cute the younger people dress and how grandma's dressing? And you begin to see all of the differences, and man, we're not so different. We're not so unique. It's been going on forever. But we need a plan. We need a plan. We need a strategy. We need friends and people around us. We need coaches. We need ideas. And I believe that if you can continually do this, it's going to work. So I talk about the shifts that are happening right now. So I read a lot, and I really do a lot of, I listen to books more than I read them because I'm a little ADD. But over the Christmas holidays, I really have no work from the end of November all the way through to January. So I read and I listen. And it's very interesting because what I am discovering is human is the word right now. And women, we have it. The skills that are necessary right now to get us into the next 5 years are the things that we master. Remember when I talked about those smart butts? Those smart butts don't have relationship skills. They don't have the art of communicating. They don't believe in face-to-face, because when it's face-to-face, I get so much more from you than if I'm talking to you on the phone or digitally. What we have as women is we are masters of these skills, because it's going to take people who are really smart and who can take a diverse group, bring them together and share ideas and go, man, I never thought of that. That is a great idea, because the next big idea is going to come from someone that doesn't look like you. The next big idea is going to come from someone who you've probably never met before today. But you have to become the master of what we already are good at: listening, communication, building relationships, collaboration, building community. We're the best at this. It's our time. They say it is our time. It is the time of women. We've been waiting. We knew it was our time, right, Martha? We've been waiting for it, but now the books are finally saying that it's our time. So we've got, get yourself, and I heard it today, besides the knowledge you already have, continually get certifications or learn something for your own business, for your own self. It doesn't necessarily have to be about work. You might take a class on Udemy. Has anybody ever done anything on that? I just did one on search engine optimization, right? To use. We just have to get excited and use them, right? So I'm going to move on because I'm looking at my time here. So the power of interaction, face-to-face. We've talked a lot about digital, but we're starting to realize that when we talk face-to-face, we make a stronger connection. So I'm about connections today. I'm about building that relationship with that next person that might help me grow, and I might help them grow. Take time. Take the time. Have a cup of coffee with someone who has an idea that is different than yours. Make time for face-to-face. So I don't know if I can do this right now. I was going to do an interaction right now. I think I'm going to do it. I'm just going to take the 3 minutes and do it. So I want you to understand that right now, the best part of listening is asking the right questions. And we're not going to do it. I'm going to tell you how to do it, and then you can do it later, because I won't have the time for this. But what I wanted to do was to get you to pair up. And one of you will have a passion, something you love to do, and the other person will interview the person with the passion. Now, we can't do this today, but if you have a team, teams love this. If you can go back and you work with a small community, it could even be in your church, I want you to try this where you get people that don't know each other together. One of them has a passion and the other person interviews and can only ask a question. I've done this over and over and over in almost every keynote I do or every group I'm in. And what we have discovered is people that have known each other for years never knew about that. Wow, I didn't know you did that. And all of a sudden, the relationship gets deeper. When we begin to ask people questions about their career, questions about how they got here, questions about things that keep them up at night. Do you mind if I ask you, like, what's your biggest challenge? Or what's the day at work you remember that was the most challenging for you? And people start to talk. Many times we interrupt them. Oh, me too. And we take it away. If we can learn to get permission, do you mind if I ask you a few questions? Sometimes people think it's creepy if you just start interviewing them. So you might want to say, hey man, do you mind, hey Andrew, do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions? I really want to get to know your business a little bit better. And Andrew, what will you say? Sure. And then I'll start. So the best way to begin to do this is to say to someone, what's your passion? What do you love to do? And when we discover what the passion is, say, do you mind if I ask you a few questions about it? You will go deeper and deeper and deeper. We have to learn how to ask questions and not interrupt. And women, I know we interrupt. We do this. Oh my God, you saw that movie? I saw it too. I can't remember the day I saw it. I think it was with my sister. And we start to go on about a litany, and we totally take the power away from the person that we're interviewing. So there's a lot of power in asking questions. Seek disagreement. Two key things happened in my career. Number one, a man heard me speak. A young guy, Garrison Wynn, he heard me speak when I first started speaking. I had no idea the power of a man promoting me. Garrison told everybody about me, and somehow, I don't know how it happened, but coming from a man, people booked me. He had a little bit more credibility. Seek out friendships that are not all female. I love being around men, especially ones that like me, because they will help me. I love women's conferences, I love them, but I also love when there are men in the conferences because they add another energy to it. And so seek out what is different. Don't always be with people like you. Seek it out. The second thing that happened to me was in 2008. Maybe you remember that. It was a hard year for me towards the end. 2009, I had no work. Everything was canceled. Thanksgiving weekend of 2008 when the world fell apart. All my work was canceled. I partnered with a 27-year-old African American with a little ponytail on the top of her head, Crystal Washington. I don't know if any of you know her. She was a social media guru. She wanted to be a speaker. I wanted to be a social media guru. We got together the year of 2009 and created a company called Social Tunities. The entire year, my expenses were totally covered because we made a great deal of income teaching baby boomers the value of social media. Seek out people that are different from you and expand and grow. The last piece of it is we take time for work, but do you take time for you? And I will give anyone this, or we'll have it in the slides. What I have found is work always is covered. I'm always on time. I get my flights. But I'm not writing that next book. I'm not doing the things that I need to do because there's so much on the plate with work. So I created a productivity system. And my productivity system, I printed this out. This is like old school. And I have it by my coffee maker in the morning. And before I check my emails, because if I check my phone, which I used to do, walk into the bathroom, oh my gosh, an email. I would run in the bathroom, then I would go and do what I had to do, and I totally messed up my day. Never got to the gym, never did anything else, because that one email or that 5 emails totally pulled me off. So now I don't do it. Well, I do it, but I don't run and do it. I do check Facebook. Oh, I'm kidding. I do check the Facebook. But I have this by my phone, by my coffee maker, and I have my cup, and I fill it out. And here's what I put on it really quick. This is for me personally. It's not for work. What is my commitment to myself? What are the 2 or 3 things I have to get done today for me? And it might be I got to go to Zumba class, or I'm going to do a body pump class. It may be just an exercise class. What do I do for me? But number 2 is where the gold is. Who do I need to connect with that I haven't connected with? Just a phone call, just an email that is not expected. A thank you for helping me. Someone I haven't talked to in a few months. Hey, I'm going to be in St. Louis. I'll see you there, right? Someone who doesn't expect it from you. And the second piece is, who are the people that I need to connect with to help me move the ball forward? The last piece helped me. I just redid my whole website. I did it in a week because I put projects down at the bottom. I put the projects down, their website, book, never got to it, and something else. But I did at least get to project number 1. So for some of you that have things you want to do someday, get it on paper. Get it on paper. I've got 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. I got to close. So I would love to tell you more, but I cannot because I am a talker. But I want to say thank you for having me. I hope I helped you. And you can just connect with me, KarenMcCullough.com or through Katie. But on with the show, right? Bye.